Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV. Thanks so much for welcoming us into your homes. Easy enough for me to say. I'm as always pushing the buttons, and I'm up here in the commentary booth here. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. joining you here, watching some racing action for the NEPS League, the New England Pennsylvania iRacing Series group, running their all-star double feature here tonight, presented by NEPS. Now, I'm not up here alone. As always, I can't do this stuff by myself. I am here with the legendary Tim Terry from up there north of the wall there in Canada. Tim, how you feeling tonight, man?
I'm just trying to figure out how you can be on two sides of the wall in the tower here at once, being production and on the mic at the same time. But I'm excited for this. This is short track racing. It's different because this isn't the Grand National car. This isn't the ARCA National car that we're seeing with these guys. It's the super late model. We're at Nashville, the fairgrounds, one of the newest pieces of iRacing content. I'm pretty excited for this. Watch practice.
Yeah, these guys always put on a show, and there's a little bit of hardware on the line here tonight, as there's a fantastic trophy. You can check it out on the SHiFT Marketing and Design Grand National Series Facebook page. Be sure to give them a like and a follow, because you got all the news points and results, and a lot of the Vidane TV racing clips on there as well. Now, you're seeing some action on track right now. These guys are actually doing open qualifying, 10-minute open qualifying session to get the best times. Essentially, the best time usually would start at the very top. Now, we are inverting some of the starters, and we've been told specifically by race officials to not tell anybody how many we're inverting for this first one. We're also going to be running a second feature here tonight. The very same cars, basically going to re-rack them, restack them, get them back out there on the track, and invert X amount of cars, and we're going to see who's going to be able to finish on top. Essentially, in layman's terms, best average finish wins. The top 3 or 4 usually gets a couple of extra bonus points throughout the night. So it's going to be really exciting here, Tim. I'm excited. You're excited. These drivers are excited, and our fans are excited too. We're on YouTube. We're on a couple of different Facebook pages. Thank you for joining us on Vidane TV, the SHiFT Marketing and Design Grand National Series page, and Tim's Corner Motorsports. Tim Terry's up here in the booth, so we figured we'd do a little bit of cross-post action there as well. As I made mention, we're on YouTube as well, Vidane TV, and Twitch for all the high-resolution clips and all that good stuff that you can save after the race. So be sure to check us out on Twitch as well, Vidane Racing TV. And we're also over on Twitter. It was actually the NEPS guys that got us to fire up the old Twitter account. So be sure to give us a follow, give us a like, give us a mention at Vidane TV over there on the Twitter box. So lots of social media, lots of different ways to find us, and lots of different ways to catch up with all of the Vidane TV iRacing action here pretty much every night of the week at this point, Tim.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see a little bit of love for this race and the NEPS series from Lenny Paticki and PRN at the track in Jennerstown on Twitter. So hopefully they're enjoying the racing action here as we get ready to get fired up. You mentioned the invert that we're going to have after qualifying, and you might think, okay, well, if these guys are out here, maybe not necessarily trying to set the fast time because they know there's an invert, what's the caveat? Well, the caveat is this is their tiebreaker. So if something does happen that we have a tie after those two features here tonight, the 30-lapper and the 40-lapper, then the tiebreaker is going to come back to this time trial. So you're going to want to set your fast time. Currently, Ryan Libby at the top, Kyle Casagrande, John Peters, Devin Marhefka, and Charles Lewandowski, your top 5. So they want to make sure that they set their quick time in case they need to go to a tiebreaker, and you hit the nail on the head. The top few positions in each of these races pay a little more points, so it's the overall top points getter, but best average finish is easier to kind of grasp your head around, but there are a couple of extra points for a couple of those top 5 finishers, I do believe, and then 6th on back. Pays pretty much the same on back per se, or the same point drop as the final couple of moments click away here, and we're getting ready to do some racing here in just a few moments.
Wrapping up the qualifying, everybody getting those cars resetted and lined up down there on pit road, getting ready for feature number 1. Now that qualifying is all set, we can let you know we're inverting the top 7. So the 7th qualifier, the 7th fastest time, it's actually going to be the 74 car of Ryan Pasocco. He's going to start first. The guy that qualified on top, Ryan Libby, he's going to start 7th, and we'll take you through the grid right now. Looking up front, we just made mention, well, the graphics are a little bit messed up, so we won't show you those. But up front, we've got Ryan Pasocco. Charles Lewandowski is going to be on the outside of him in that 01 car. 22, Devin Marhefka is going to be starting at P3. Right next to him is going to be Kenny Kibbe in the number 15 car. starting in the fifth position. That's we make up words here at Vidane TV, and we're pretty excited about that. Starting in the fifth position, John Peters, the defending champion here in the NEPS Grand National Series, with Cory Casagrande and that 7 car on the outside. Behind him is going to be Ryan Libby and Michael Bennett finishing out row number 4. Cory Casagrande starting 9th. Brent Roy starting 10th. The 9 car there, Jason Ricker, he's going to start 11th. And Zane Ferrell in that number 49, a pretty pink race car. Not so pink here tonight. A little bit of a different paint scheme for Zane there in the 49 car. He's going to be starting 12th. 13th is going to go to Pete Yetman. And outside of him is going to be the 81 of DJ Gerard. Starting 15th, the number 78, Michael Hopkins. Outside of him, Wyatt Alexander, the number 96 machine. Waiting to get down to the car there, the 58, going to be the 17th qualifier, Thomas Morris. There he is, just popped in. Matt Kentfield is going to be starting 18th. And rounding out the 24-car field, we've got Matt Shinosky, Dylan Kopech, Brandon Uhouse, Scott McDonald, Brandon Marhefka, and Jeffrey Brown. So 20-car field here for tonight's doubleheader here, Tim. We're inverting the top 7 cars, and what that means is the top qualifier, the guy that qualified on the pole, Ryan Libby in that 46 machine, he's going to start 7th and basically flip-flopping everybody in that top 7. So Ryan Pasoko in the number 74, he's actually the number 3 there on your screen. He's going to be starting on the pole.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tight field and not a whole lot of laps to work in either feature. This first one's going to be 30 laps in length. The second one is going to be 40 laps in length. So you want to make sure that you can get all you can get early in these races as the 3 rolls off behind the iRacing pace car field in behind. If you're starting back in those early 20s positions, 24 cars taking time in qualifying, Paul, you need to be up on the wheel and up on the wheel really quickly. We've seen these guys in the Grand National car. Who do you think is going to take away the win here tonight in the Super?
I will let you know in 29 laps.
Oh, come on now.
Man, I don't know. These guys, it's a stacked field here tonight. I'm gonna go with the number 7, Cory Casagrande. Kind of a dark horse in these cars. He's qualified 6th, so we'll see where he ends up.
I think if we're looking at picks, I think we got to go with John Peters in the 51 car. He races these cars in real life, and obviously a good little shoe when it comes to the super late models on iRacing, as the pace car will peel off this time by. We'll get ready to go racing. First feature of the evening for the SHiFT Marketing and Design Grand National Series All-Star Race presented by NEPS. Pace car is in Pasoko, holding them up high, coming through 3 and 4. They'll come into the box. Green flag is out. We're underway for the first of 30 laps in feature number 1.
Fantastic start all the way through. Everybody's 2x2 pretty much throughout the field. Great jump there from Ryan Pasoko, that number 3 car on your screen. Don't look now, though. Charles Zulenzowski in the number 001. He's trying to hold tough. It looks like there's a little bit more grip on the outside there, Tim.
Yeah, we'll see how it rubbers up on the outside. Big contact to the inside, and that will send everybody's for a ride. Caution flag will fly. When second place has an issue, everybody else has to get around, and I think for some, it was easier said than done.
For sure. We're going to back up here, the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky instant replay, and take a look at exactly what happened there. Doesn't look like it could have been a whole lot worse than what it was, but we'll take a peek here from the chopper cam. And as you can see, the red and black car up top just kind of comes down just a bit and gets into those are the 22 cars. So those two guys, a little bit of damage there. It actually looks like everybody else gets away scot-free. So they were down below the racing groove, nobody else involved, but 2-car incident putting these two guys towards the back of the pack. Going to be tough to get these back up front.
And you saw that replay there, Paul. It could have been a lot bigger than it was, as you mentioned, with that wall being there, those cars bouncing right back up. Could have been a lot bigger incident than it was. Glad to see everybody else get through. A little bit of damage to those guys out back, but they'll have an opportunity to come down, get those cars massaged a little bit, and try to get those cars back up near the front of the running order. And if not, maybe they catch an invert for that second feature later on. But you don't want to rely on that because, Paul, if you want to win this overall event, you've got to be up front and finish well in these 2 races.
Absolutely, and that's one of the real you made mention, we both made mention that a lot of these drivers were able to really keep their head up and keep the hands on the wheel and avoid that two-car incident. And that's really a call to these drivers here in the NEPS League. These guys put on a fantastic show. They've a lot of them have actually raced each other in real life, but they've all raced each other this is now the second season that they've been racing together in the iRacing simulation. So everybody's really comfortable around each other, and they kind of know what each driver is going to do whenever there's a wreck or anything like that, Tim.
And we kind of mentioned before we came on air the respect in between these drivers. For most leagues and most open shows that we would see on iRacing, especially on a short track, you probably wouldn't want to do an open qualifying session, because if you're familiar with the iRacing service, if you get an incident point or you get a 0x contact with another driver, contact with the wall, that lap is negated in qualifying. These guys ran a 10-minute session. Yes, there was a couple of incidents in there, but for the most part, everybody got some clean laps in. So I'm pretty impressed with the way that they were able to pull that off here this evening and have that little respect level in between the drivers. As the pace car lights are still on, we'll go one more lap. And Pasoko on the front row, Ryan Pasoko has that invert in his back pocket, and right now looking pretty good up front.
Yeah, giving the track officials a little bit of extra time to kind of clean the track off, make sure we're all good to go there. Gonna restart. If we get the lights off here, we're gonna restart. Gonna have about 23 laps to go, thereabouts. We usually have Kyle Young up here to do all the math right off the rip, but we gave him the night off. It's actually Kyle Young's birthday, so want to give him a huge shout out. He actually shot me a picture there on Facebook with the hashtag Vidane TV, because he's having himself a little viewer party, having a couple of ice cold wobbly pops, and enjoying himself, taking the night off and watching us here on Vidane TV. So happy birthday, Kyle. Hope you enjoy the night. Hope you enjoy the race here for these NEPS All-Star guys.
Field will get the one to go, or got the one to go that last time by, so we'll be back to racing. Looks like a single file restart for this one, Paul, as Ryan Pasoko will have the advantage. The rest of the field in behind as they work down the back straightaway and into corners number 3 and 4. We'll see if we can get some laps and see if we can get a rhythm in. John Peters already up to second, Kyle Casagrande in third, Bennett and Libby, your top 5. Here comes the field. Green flag is back out. Huge start for Pasoko down into corner number 1. John Peters in behind, and then everybody else playing chase. Oh, I think the first side-by-side battle's right about there, around 4th or 5th.
Looks like we got a car around about mid-pack back there. I think that's Wyatt Alexander in the 96. Looks like he does get it right, and no caution. We're going to stay green here. Back up front with Ryan Pasoko. Has a mirror that's starting to get a little bit more full with John Peters, the champ, closing in that 51, trying to move in on that number 3 car.
Keeping him honest for that lead position. Pasoko leads Peters in second. They pulled away from Kyle Casagrande in position number 3, and you can see that gap back to that 3rd place position. But John Peters trying to make it happen on the 3 of Pasoko. They come out of corner number 2 down the back straightaway. You can see that run that Peters got at a 2, just couldn't put it anywhere on that 3 car. They come through 3 and 4 one more time. They'll complete lap number 10. It'll still be Pasoko leading, but here is John Peters. You're right on board with the 51 car down into 1 and 2.
Really see how much wheel input he's putting into that car. He's trying to turn down. He's trying to get to that yellow line before Pasoko does. And you can see Pasoko drifts up just a little bit, opens the door for John Peters. They're going to come across the stripe. He's going to think better of it, tuck back in. Going to shoot down on the inside here. He's going to get up to at least his door coming out of turn number 2, Tim.
Down the back straightaway and going to make it look easy. John Peters goes to the top of the board. Pasoko will fall back to position number 2, putting a little bit of pressure on, but as they exchange that position, enter the 3rd place driver of Kyle Casagrande. Casagrande is looking for something to happen between those two. Pasoko keeping on the back bumper of Peters, nothing doing there through 1 and 2, and there's 2 drivers in behind them as well. That's Michael Bennett, Ryan Libby. Should something happen up here, they're trying to close in on a podium position.
Everybody in the top 5 single file trying to work through. They're going to be crossing through lap number 15, halfway through this first of 2 features. We made mention earlier, second feature is going to be a little bit longer. There's going to be 40 laps in that second feature, and we are inverting a certain amount of cars that we're going to find out after the finish of this first one.
Yeah, so you're going to want to finish up front. Hope you don't catch the invert the wrong way and try to do it all over again for 40 laps. This is the battle back here for position number 6. That's Kenny Kibbe and Cory Casagrande going at it for a position just outside the top 5, and looks pretty good right now in between those two drivers. Up in front continues to be status quo. And it looks like through most of this field, Paul, it looks like they've got single file. A couple of side-by-side battles, a couple of close battles here in the middle of the pack. But for the most part, it looks like these guys have found a place to race in the second half of this one.
Yeah, just taking a look right now, the 49 Zane Ferrell, the number 9 of Jason Ricker, both clean race cars so far. So these guys doing a great job mid-pack right now. Well within the top 10, well, just at the bottom of the top 10, running 8th and 9th on your screen. A little bit of scrape there for the 15 of Kenny Kibbe, but doing a great job so far. These guys are really keeping the cars clean, keeping their heads on their shoulders and the hands up on the wheels. So doing a great job keeping the cars clean.
Top two have kind of got away from the rest. We're going to have a battle for third here, it looks like, though, Paul. Kyle Casagrande, the 7, and Ryan Libby in the 46. And I think Casagrande may have got the wall the last time at a turn number 2. If he didn't, I think it might have knocked off his rhythm a little bit. It's going to move Libby back to position number 3. That was your fast qualifier from earlier this evening. And now Libby's got to get up on the wheel in the remaining 11 laps and try to make something happen here. They'll come by and complete lap number 19 here.
Those Jimmy Dean sausages are running hot there on the 46 car. Ryan Libby doing a great job in qualifying, the open qualifying, and you can kind of tell the race setup is very similar to the qualifying setup in that car because he's made his way from 7th up to 3rd, and it seems like he's starting to close the gap just a little bit on that number 3 car of Ryan Pasoko and the champ up front leading the 51 of John Peters.
Pasoko has been close a couple of times, trying to really make that move, but hasn't been able to capitalize and try to get around that 51 of Peters. Has kind of made his bed on the back porch of that number 51 as we work through corners number 3 and 4 one more time. 21 laps will be completed this time, and this looks like it may be a 3-horse race coming down to the end of this, ball, as you ride on board with Ryan Pasoko sitting in position number 2, and little slip at a corner number 2. Ryan Libby closing in.
Closing the door, Ryan Libby. He saw that little bit of a slip there. It looks like he ran a little bit high there. Pasoko did in that number 3 machine. I don't believe tires are going to be too much of an issue here, 30 laps, but you never know. But you can see that 46 car definitely closing right up in the back bumper. Getting hungry. He can smell that P2 position.
And I don't know how big the new tire model is on this race car. We kind of saw it a little bit last night with the RBR camp. But it's almost like he got those tires angry, Paul. The 3 of Pasoko has fallen back into the clutches of the 46 of Libby. It's a battle for position number 2, and the big beneficiary of this is John Peters, because Peters has pulled away, and Pasoko all the way up the racetrack. He's halfway to downtown Nashville. Change for second. It's Ryan Libby.
Ryan Libby up to P2. Ryan Pasoko back down to P3. Kyle Casagrande just kind of sitting there right now in P number 4. Holding that position, scrapes the wall just a little bit, not too much to slow him down. Caution out on the racetrack. 5 laps to go. We got to see if we can pull up the old instant replay and find out exactly what the deal is here.
So a caution with 5 laps to go, and I believe we got a message from a race director a little bit earlier. I believe there may be 3 attempts at a green-white checker on this one tonight, but there might be a couple of more overtimes in this one as we try to see what brought out that yellow flag here with 5 laps remaining in this all-star race. John Peters continues to lead Ryan Libby and Ryan Pasoko, your top 3. So as we continue on here, we'll come down to a final little bit of racing that we have here. You see the 44 coming down onto pit road to get service. A little bit of damage to that 44 race car, and they'll massage that thing out for the final little run to the finish, Paul. I believe it's going to be a green-white checker finish here as we get these guys reshuffled. John Peters will be in command when we do throw the green flag.
Yeah, seeing a couple handful of cars there. We looked through the replay. Unfortunately, having some technical difficulties with that, but we are seeing a couple of cars on pit road: the 44, the 78, the 01, and the 61. So those guys stopping for service, getting some of the dents banged out, getting some tires put on the car. Back up front, Champ is still here. John Peters, 51. Ryan Libby in the 46. That's going to be the front 2 cars. Ryan Pasoko, Kyle Casagrande, and Michael Bennett are going to be the top 5.
Yeah, so we'll see how this all shakes out here. The three, I think he got his tires a little bit angry at him, got his tires a little bit hot. This will be the opportunity for Pasoko to kind of cool down those tires. Casagrande kind of hanging around in fourth, and then Michael Bennett in position number 5. Had a great battle with Ryan Libby for most of that run before we did get that caution flag. So we'll have a green-white checker finish to determine the winner of this one. This is the first of 3 green-white checker attempts. So if you're new to the iRacing service, or maybe this is your first time watching the NEP drivers, they will have their first attempt at a green-white checker finish. If they get to the white flag, similar to what you would see in the real world, they get to the white, the race is official, they'll come back to the checkered. But if they do not get the white, Paul, they'll see a second green-white checker attempt, and then if that doesn't work, they'll go to a third.
Yep, so first attempt at a green-white checkered, and the first of 2 feature events here tonight. Pretty cool. It's the first time we've actually done a doubleheader here with this NEPS group. We've done it before on Vidane TV, but never with these guys, and we're really excited to see what... they're basically pulling a random draw, is from what the race officials are telling us, and they're going to let us know at the conclusion of this. Well, we'll see if it's the conclusion of this green-white checkered attempt, but definitely at the conclusion of this race. Lined up, single file here. Everybody's going to take that high side to make sure that they don't get anybody to pass on the outside there after the green flag drops. And that's essentially because we had a couple of quick cautions back-to-back. So race officials said, you know what, we're going to do single file restarts, and we want to make sure that it's good and clean to entertain all the fans out there in Vidane TV land. So the pace car pulls off. Everybody up there by the wall. John Peters going to bring him down to the green flag. Great start for the number 51, 46, Ryan Libby, right there on his tail. He's going to head on down into turn number 1, try and get a little bit lower on John Peters, run a lower line, and see what he can do in these final 2 laps.
Oh, he was able to get that thing cut through 1 and 2. The 46 of Libby on the back bumper, the 51 of John Peters. Peters trying to hold on and trying to see if they can get to the white flag. They'll come down the front straightaway and take the white flag. Final lap. This race will be official when they come back this next time by. The 51 of John Peters trying to hold on. We'll see if Ryan Libby can ship it on in to turn number 3 and make something happen here on the final lap. The fast qualifier of the evening, not going to be able to get to the back bumper. The 51, a checkered flag, and John Peters is going to victory lane. Going to be Ryan Libby, Ryan Pasoko, Kyle Casagrande, and Michael Bennett. Your top 5, Kibbe, Ferrell, Ricker, Gerard, and Roy complete your top 10. So now these guys, Paul, are going to be able to take a quick little breather, a couple of moments for a warm-up, maybe an opportunity to go grab an ice-cold beverage and maybe a snack, but they're going to have to turn around quickly, because then we'll be going back racing for a 40-lap feature to finish this off.
Yeah, good, quick, clean racing here. Just a couple of small incidents, minor 2-3 car incidents here, and that's usually what we expect here for the NEPS guys, putting on a fantastic show. And you can see a couple of cars sitting there on pit road. They've got about a minute and a half of a little warm-up session to try and kind of feel these cars out and see, maybe if there's any changes in the weather or anything like that. A couple of guys choosing to go out and turn a couple of lap times here. But getting word from the race officials, we are going to be doing the invert. We made mention of that. We thought it was going to be a random number, but we're actually going to be inverting all lead lap cars from the first race. And I didn't catch how many cars finished on the lead lap there. All 24 cars finished on the lead lap. So we're inverting the entire field. John Peters is going to be starting 24th, and the 24th place finisher is going to be starting first. This is going to be exciting, Tim.
This is going to be wild. The 24th place car, I do believe, if we look all the way back, was it Jeffrey Brown finished 24th, 8 seconds behind, but we did have that late caution flag that bunched everybody back up. We did have, I think, one free pass recipient, but he had an opportunity to come down and change tires if they wanted to and play around a little bit. But now these drivers, final couple of seconds, are going to click down, and Jeffrey Brown going to be the recipient of the invert, so he's going to start on the front row.
Going to be a heck of a show for sure. Now, these guys are basically going to start this second feature and immediately take the caution. And what that's allowing them to do is it's going to allow them to manually set the field, as we don't actually have the feature to to invert the entire lead lap pack through iRacing, because we don't know how many cars we're going to finish on the lead lap. So these guys are going to set up the field manually, and we're gonna go from there. So we're gonna get the green flag, immediately take the caution, and these guys are gonna kind of sort themselves out and put themselves where they're going to start. And again, we're inverting the entire field. The original qualifier up front, or I'm sorry, the winner of the last race is starting in the back, so that's going to be John Peters. And we made mention, looks like they were actually able to do that because Jeffrey Brown and Scott McDonald, they're up there on the front row.
Yeah, they were able to do that, Paul. Everybody has been inverted, including the race director who's in here as a driver, so that might be the only little caveat you see there. There is your lineup on your screen. Just take out that race director spot up top, and you have your field. So Devin Marhefka will move up one. Pete Yetman, Wyatt Alexander, Brandon Uhouse, Mike Hopkins, Charles Lewandowski, Thomas Morris. I don't know, Paul, if they're going to flip-flop those rows or not, but as you look down, it's essentially what we had as a finishing order inverted. So Cory Casagrande, Marhefka, Shinosky, and on through the field, John Peters. There's your top 5 from the last race. They'll start in the final 5 positions in this one.
Now, you may be sitting at home thinking, you're confused. It's okay. We're confused up here, too. But definitely going to be entertaining. Definitely going to be a lot of fun. May see some guys up front that we don't normally see up front, and that's going to be really cool. We'll be able to see some different paint schemes, some different drivers, and some different talents, as a lot of these guys may run towards the back of the pack or in the middle of the pack and don't quite get as much TV time as usual. Now's the absolute best time to do it. The NEPS All-Star race, you can see Jeffrey Brown actually taking an end the longest line there. Looks like he wants to start in the back of the pack, so definitely a respectable move there for the number 55 machine.
Yeah, so they'll come by this time, and technically they'll get one to go, but I believe, as you mentioned off the top, Paul, they may take a caution flag right here. But Scott McDonald in the 44, we saw on that first race, might have been involved in that last caution, had a lot of damage to the right-hand side of that number 44 car, but the great thing about this iRacing service, he's got a brand new race car for feature number 2 and looks pretty good. He'll lead this field to green by the looks of it, but we may get that caution to shuffle them all up a little bit here. But for the most part, those guys that finished at the back are where they're starting up near the front of this one.
Yep, pretty cool to see, and we'll see exactly what these guys are going to do. The pace car's down pit road. The green flag is going to come out. A little bit of a touch there in the front row. Waits to the last second. Great shot there from the 44. Looks like a better shot from the number 22. He's able to get around and clear just barely. The 22 car gets around. That's going to be David Marhefka, and you can see a lot of shuffling already going on throughout the back middle of the pack here, Tim.
We saw Wyatt Alexander have trouble in that first race. He is now in position number 3. It's the 21 car of Yetman. Almost has a moment down the front straightaway here. He's still 2 and 3 wide trying to collect that race car, but I think he's going to be fine. He's to the bottom of the 52, and there's battles all over this racetrack. That's a great thing about an invert.
Weaving and bobbing, and some of these guys aren't really all that comfortable being up front. Some of the guys in the back aren't comfortable being in traffic. And man, oh man, you said it, Tim, there's battles all the way across the racetrack. Looks like the 21 and the 52 have calmed down a little bit. We'll back up here. We can see, it's trouble for the 76. He's around. That's going to be towards the back of the pack. Looks like a one-car incident, but the caution is going to come out. We'll see if we can pull that up on the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky instant replay. You can see there, he did get that car rolling, so that's good news for Matt Kentfield. But we'll pull up this replay, Tim, and see what the heck happened there.
We saw off that shot, though, off of turn number 2 and going down the back straightaway that it almost looked like, Paul, they were 3 wide around the 76 car, whether they were around or behind. But we'll take a look and see what happened. As a couple of drivers coming down into pit road, including Scott McDonald, your second-place driver, is going to peel off onto pit road. So we'll see if there's anything of that. And, Paul, what happened with the 76?
Well, we're seeing the 76 kind of running the midline there, and it looks like the number 9 just kind of gets up and gives him a little shot, gives him another little shot. So it doesn't look like it was any kind of intentional or anything like that, but just got the 76 car out of shape and finished him off there, sent him out into the wall, but wasn't too big of a hit. So that's definitely good news there for the 76 of Matt Kentfield. He's going to be able to get down pit road, maybe put some tires on it, get the sheet metal banged out just a little bit, and see what he can wrap up with. Unfortunately, no more inverts for Matt. He's going to have to work. He's going to have to get up front the hardware.
Yeah, looking at the back of this pack right now, trying to see where everybody shakes out. Devin Marhefka started in position number 4, finished 22nd in race number 1. Wyatt Alexander currently in second, finished 20th in that first feature. and Mike Hopkins finished in 18th, currently running in position number 3. John Peters, our winner from race number 1. With a couple of these drivers pitting, I believe he's in 17th place right now. Michael Bennett finished in 5th. He's 18th. 19th is Ryan Libby. Kyle Casagrande is 20th. He finished in 4th. So a couple of drivers that didn't get the right end of the invert per se for their sake, starting to work their way up, but they don't have a whole lot of time to do so. They'll complete lap number 6 of 43 this time by.
Lap 6 of 43. That may very well be 40. We may have added a couple of laps there just to get everything sorted out, but it looks like the iRacing service was able to get that taken care of for us. We'll have to get that cleared up. But, man, that was some impactful racing there, the first 4 laps. We did get some of these drivers kind of sorted out. Devin Marhefka doing a great job, that number 22. All these guys up front still. We got Wyatt Alexander in the 96, Michael Hopkins, 78, Brandon Newhouse in the 4, Charles Lewandowski in the 01. So those guys holding on the top 5 positions now, but we still have 3/4 of this race to go.
Yeah, there's still a lot of laps left in this one, and kind of looking middle of the pack, guys like DJ Gerard and Zane Ferrell, 11th and 12th right now, finished 9th and 7th respectively in race number 1. So if they can pick up some quick positions here, they might be favored per se in this one, as the lights atop the pace car are off. It looks like another single file restart, so that definitely doesn't help guys like John Peters and Ryan Libby at the back, who have to work their way through. They have to work their way through not only the traffic and work their way through the hard way, Paul, they got to do it with a single file restart.
Yeah, that's tough, Tim, because it basically lines everybody up bumper to bumper, and it does allow for cleaner restarts in cases, but it doesn't really, it puts you twice as far away from the leader than you normally would. But the pace car is going to dip down pit road. We're going to get a nice slow restart. Well, we're going to get a quick restart as soon as they get into the zone. Green flags in the air. Fantastic jump there from number 22, David Marhefka. Looks like Wyatt Alexander is going to hold on to the second position for right now, but don't look now. Michael Hopkins moving up to P number 3.
They are getting at it up front as single file racing for a couple of positions up front, Paul, but this is going to get exciting once they get a couple of laps in, get some heat in these tires, and start to make their way towards the front of the field, especially these guys about the middle of the pack, side by side. See Brent Roy in the 26 to the outside, trying to pick up or maybe protect a position. Now he goes to the inside in the Sewell's Paving number 26, trying to pick up one more spot.
Jumping, taking a look right now, about mid-pack, Zane Ferrell there running exactly in the middle, P12 in that 49 ride. They were side by side a little bit here, but it looks like they kind of figured it out, lined them back up, bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper, and doing a great job just trying to click off some laps, get some heat in the tires, and figure out exactly where they want to go. Looks like back up in front of them, though, Pete Yoakum, the number 21 machine, he's up there trying to get racy. That's going to be the 01 in front of him with the no-number car. That's going to be Charles Lewandowski. A little bit of side-by-side action there last lap, but as you can see, the 21 seems like he's running a little bit higher than everybody else here, Tim.
Yeah, those guys on the inside have kind of been testing the waters a little bit, kind of poked the nose to the inside, but really hasn't been able to make a whole lot of moves. And Pete Yetman was the driver that had that issue off the initial start as we get a battle for second. Wyatt Alexander shuffled up the racetrack. Mike Hopkins moves to the inside and almost up the racetrack into the 96 car as they come down the front straightaway. The 61 tucked in tight behind of U-House. But we talked about Yetman now on the outside line. He was that driver, Paul, that had an issue in the opening laps of this race, and looks like he's got it back. And a part of this battle, a part of this pack is Wyatt Alexander tries to hold on to the outside.
A little bit of a connection issue there from the 96 Wyatt Alexander. You saw him blink out just a couple of times, but man, it's a battle for second. They're doing a great job. It looks like he slips back just a bit. Caution's going to be out on the speedway here, lap 15.
I believe it happened in the middle of the pack, just barely caught it out of the corner of my eye, but it'll slow the field down nonetheless, and the caution flag will be back out just shy of the halfway point in this second feature for the NEPS SHiFT Marketing and Design All-Star Race presented by NEPS. As we start to see these drivers, Paul, come towards the front of the field, and we may have seen one of those drivers that was coming towards the front of the field maybe get a little bit too much. There's a little bit of action on the front straightaway. What have you been able to find?
Just pulling up the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky instant replay right now. We're going to give it to you in the chopper view. Basically see way up high the racetrack here. Looks like the 81 got involved here. We were actually just watching this battle. The 81 and the 49 of Zane Ferrell, DJ Gerard there in the 81. And you can see these two drivers heading on down the low side. 49 just gets a little bit more of a run and gets into the back quarter panel. The 81 sends him on around. Hard hit on the outside wall, and then it looks like there was awesome nose-to-nose contact to the 64. That's Michael Bennett. Those guys, that's going to be tough. It's never good to hit somebody directly on the nose. But we'll see if we can back this up one more time. There was a couple of other cars that were involved there. Jeffrey Brown looks like he was able to get through there scot-free, that number 55 car. So did a great job. He started on the pole, but decided to restart in the back. So he's running 20th currently. But it looks like that car is still nice and clean. So a couple of drivers with some mishaps back here, Tim, but it looks like all in all we're still in pretty good shape.
And I know we have a couple of fans watching. Lacey Brunel is obviously cheering on Zane, and I think he's still on this racetrack. Scored in 11th place, finished 7th in race number 1. Might not be too bad for at least an overall podium finish for this one if he can continue to move forward. John Peters scored in 14th. Ryan Libby scored in 15th. So those are the two drivers I think we really have to watch. Those were the top two from the first event, and they've still got plenty of laps to move forward. Whether they can get up here and win this one, well, they got a lot of work to do to get up there, but we'll see how this all shakes out. Want to say hello to Pat Healy as well. He's watching on Vidane TV, so want to say hello to Pat. I know he's getting excited for the Tim's Corner stuff coming up here in a couple of weeks' time on Vidane. But getting to the halfway point in this one, Paul, and we'll see if Devin Marhefka can lock this one down. Had a pretty good run there on the green flag stretch, and then the caution flag came out, and the lead has evaporated.
Lead has evaporated. It gets reset here with the caution, and the lights are still on in the pace car. So we're going to take another luxury lap here and see if we can get somebody to turn the lights off on that pace car so we can get some green flag racing.
And look at this. Double file. I believe the race director has changed it to a double file restart, and he will do so. So the 22 of Marhefka will now line up alongside Mike Hopkins in the number 78. The 96 of Wyatt Alexander was on that outside line, stuck on that outside line on that run to the inside of row number 2. He will restart with Uhouse to the outside and Yetman in 5th. Charles Lewandowski, Dylan Kopeck, Cory Casagrande, Matt Shinosky, and Brandon Marhefka, your top 10, as the pace car will peel off this time by. We will be just around halfway, 20 laps completed in this second feature. Green flag is out, and we'll see that battle for position number 2 maybe heat up a little bit as Marhefka gets the advantage back to the 78 of Hopkins, and side by side for position number 3. Wyatt Alexander once again stuck to that outside line. It looks like Uhouse to the inside and Alexander sideways. Battle continues on for that lead position. The 22 of Marhefka in behind. They start to stack up a little bit. The top 5 or so have found a place to race as the 22 continuing to hold off the 78 2 car lengths back. And then a little ways back to Uhouse, who has taken 3rd, Lewandowski to 4th, and we have a caution flag on the speedway. Yellow flag is out on lap number 23.
Just past halfway here in the second of 2 doubleheaders here tonight. Second of 2 doubleheaders, second of the first doubleheader. So we'll see if we can pull up the old Kick-Ass Beef Jerky instant replay and see what just put us under this this caution here.
Yeah, Paul, we got a couple of drivers back there that are sporting some battle scars, and they were getting at it about mid-pack. And I think one of the drivers that was involved in this one was the driver that was running at one point up in the top 3, Wyatt Alexander.
Yeah, looks like we've got her pulled up here on the replay, so we're going to play this again from the chopper view. We're going to focus in on Matt Canfield, the red number 76 car. Looks like the action started in front of him, as you can see, the 46 to 51, 3 wide, 13. Ah, there we go. 13 was in the middle. He gets flipped over on his lid. Holy moly. And that's never good. You never want to be upside down in any kind of race car, simulated, real, or otherwise. And man, oh man, you can see that was a tough hit. We're going to just kind of change up the camera angle a bit. See if we can focus in there on Brandon Marhefka, because, man, that was a gnarly hit. And you can see it's just hard racing, man, in the mid-pack, trying to get the best finish that you can possibly get. There's the undercarriage of the 13 car. 2 flips, 3 flips. Flips the other way. Almost sticks the landing. So flips for, nope. Looks like he reset the pit road before he was able to stick the landing. So gets a 3 on the landing, but I definitely give him a 7 for style points there, Tim.
Yeah, definitely had a wild ride down the front straightaway. He's going to remember his trip. And keep in mind, these guys are going back to the Grand National cars, so they can kind of put the super late model back in the virtual garage after tonight and not really touch it for a while as the field will come by. You see a lot of drivers coming off of pit road. That is the 22 continuing to lead, Devin Marhefka. And through all of that, it looks like John Peters has come down pit road, so he is at the back of this field. So this might swing the advantage back the way of Ryan Libby if he can pick up some spots here. Paul currently scored in position number 11. Zane Ferrell has been able to move up to position number 7, which is where he finished in the first feature. Kenny Kibbe finished 6th. He's up to 10th. So I know we don't like doing math because typically it doesn't end well, but that's for the race director and those boys to decide on. And I'm sure those guys that have net bets in are scratching their heads right about now.
Oh, for sure. And that's one of the things that we told the race officials. We were just kind of going over the rules before the show went on the air here just a little bit ago. And so, yeah, well, we got the rules. We understand the rules, but you guys are going to do the math, right? So going to get the race officials, the race admins to let us know who's going to be the winner of the top 3 of these events. So pretty cool deal. The winner of each event gets $10, and the overall winner gets $30 and a very, very cool looking trophy, which you can take a look at over on the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series Facebook page. Pretty cool deal there. Some awesome looking hardware. But we're lined up, Tim. 2x2, double file restart. Lights are off. Let's see what we can have for a battle here between Marhefka and Hopkins.
So going to 43, put us at 15 laps to go this time by when we do take the green flag. Marhefka trying to hold on, but keep your eye on about that mid-pack, Paul, because I think we're going to see some action there, especially with some of those drivers knowing they have to get to the front in order to win. Here comes the 22. Green flag flies for Marhefka. We're back underway. He gets a great start. Second and third get a great start. Uhouse was able to make the move on that last restart to take third, and now he's looking at second.
Taking a look right now, Hopkins in second, Uhouse up to third. Single file up there, and a mess, a huge hornet's nest back here for the 5th place. Here you see the number 4 car, Dylan Kopeck. Where the heck did he come from? He was running mid-pack before. Looks like he got around those wrecks. Up there battling Charles Lewandowski currently for the 4th position.
Yeah, Dylan Kopeck trying to lock down at least a top 5 finish, but he's got some hungry drivers in behind. There's Ryan Libby in the 46 side by side, and he's mired in this traffic, Paul. He's going to try to pick up one more on Yetman. Yetman to the outside is going to get close down there through 1 and 2. Maybe a little bit of contact. 21 up the racetrack, into the fence, down back on the racetrack, and he is going to have a little bit of damage on that inside, but we're going to stay green for the time being.
Still clean and green, a lot of big damage on that car, but looks like he was able to avoid everybody else. He just got into that corner just a little bit too hot, slammed into the outside wall and sent him for a little bit of a ride there. Definitely throwing the 46 through a loop, and you can see, looks like everybody's starting to get single file up towards the front, about side by side here, looking at the 15 and the 9 are still side by side. That's going to be the battle for 10th right there. So it's doing a great job. You see the 15's definitely got a couple of battle scars in the front of that race car. Not giving up, though. Still seeing he's going to shoot down on the inside of the number 9 car, try and get that 10th place. Oh, they touched just a little bit. Says, excuse me, coming through. I'm going to take that 10th spot, and I want to go after 9th now.
John Peters is coming, Paul. A caution flag will fly. Never mind. I was going to say John Peters is coming and coming in a hurry. He's currently scored in 13th place, and with Ryan Libby in 9th. These last couple laps here are going to be pretty intense as we throw the yellow flag out. We'll see what transpired to bring out that caution flag. And, Paul, what are you seeing?
Well, we just talked about him, gave him a little bit of the old commentary curse. Mr. Where did he come from? Dylan Kopeck running that 4 car. Well, where the heck did he go? Because it looks like he was involved in a big way in this wreck. And you can see right here, we've got the 4 car. That's it's a white car, black numbers. 52, Cory Casagrande right behind him. It looks like there was some contact up front, and the the orange and black car there checked up just a little bit, and Kopech kind of got off the throttle just a bit and got a tap from the 52 of Cory Casagrande. Really nowhere for Cory to go there. Definitely nothing intentional there, because those guys are pretty good buddies. They race over at Stafford Speedway and race a lot here on iRacing. So big hit for the number 4 car. He's going to be restarting back in the 18th position. Not sure if he's going to be able to get it done tonight in the second feature here, but we'll definitely be able to see.
So looking at some of these finishes from that first race, Paul, I believe the driver in the hot seat right now may be Ryan Libby in the 46 car. Finished second in race number 1, currently 7th here. Zane Ferrell was 7th in race number 1, currently in position number 5 in race number 2. So, and John Peters came down pit road on that last caution flag, now sitting in 12th. So this restart here is going to be key. We have up to 3 green-white checkers if we do need them. So there's going to be some action here in these final couple laps, not only for up front with Devin Marhefka trying to hold on to win this one, but you're going to have some guys in the middle of the pack that are trying to win a championship.
Yeah, and with these guys, man, the racing's always exciting here whenever we watch the NEPS guys here on Vidane TV. You throw in a double feature, you throw in an inverted field, you throw in an entire inverted field, and you throw in a cool little trophy. I'm telling you, that trophy is pretty neat. So you should check out the Facebook page and pull up a picture of that and take a gander at it, because, man, these guys, they're racing for pride, they're racing for bragging rights, and they're racing for that trophy. So it's going to be really exciting. I know we've done a little bit of math here. Well, Tim's done all the math. I don't do math. I was never really good at that. I like to push buttons and make things look pretty. But the 22 doing a fantastic job here. Started up towards the front in this second feature. Led most of this second feature so far. He's doing a great job. And U-House, you see in the 61 machine, right behind him in second. Charles Lewandowski third. Michael Hopkins fourth. And Zane Ferrell running fifth currently. And, man, the lights are off on the pace car. We're going to double them up. Is this the final restart? Who knows? Oh, no, lights back on in the pace car. Looks like we're going to take another quick breath here and kind of give these guys a second to pull the belts tight, get a quick beverage. There you see the lights go off. Now we're going to line them up 2 by 2. And now we're going to restart with 4 laps to go here, Tim.
They just tried to throw you for a loop with those lights, as we'll come by this time and have those 4 laps to go on this restart. We'll see if Marhefka can hold on. U-House to the outside, Lewandowski, Hopkins, and Ferrell, your top 5. Ferrell's going to try to pick up a couple of more spots here from that inside line and try to take away what could very well be a event championship for the All-Star Race presented by NEPS. Pace car is in, Marhefka is gone, green flag is out, and there's that battle for second. Lewandowski is on it.
U-House had it. Lewandowski took it away. Lewandowski up to second. U-House back into third. Right there on his bumper, but don't look now. Zane Ferrell looking for that. He's down on the inside. Looks like he's going to get around the 78 machine of Michael Hopkins there for 4th place, side by side, heading on down into turn number 1, crossing the stripe. 3 laps to go.
3 laps remaining, and this battle between Zane Ferrell and Ryan Libby could end up being for the event championship, with John Peters mired back in position number 10. Side by side for 4th. Here comes Libby trying to pick up one more spot, and the 49 of Ferrell right ahead of him. They're still side by side with the 78 of Hopkins on the outside. They'll come by this time and see the white.
Popsicle sticks last time, white flag, white rag in the air. Devin Marhefka's going to take that white flag. Last lap here for the NEPS. Oh, big wiggle there for about 3 cars involved. Everybody holds on to it. Marhefka's gone. Lewandowski's gone. U-House is in the 3rd place. He's doing a really good job holding on to there. 4th place, Zane Ferrell. Looks like he's going to be able to hold on to that, Tim. Looking at Devin Marhefka up front, coming out of turn number 4. Nice, high, wide, and handsome. Crosses that finish line. Wins the second feature here tonight, All-Star Night. The NEPS All-Star Race feature number 2 is going to go to the number 22 car, Devin Marhefka, and you can see the field finishing out behind them. They don't have any more features here tonight, so may as well tear them down.
And we might have to go back and take a look at that last lap or so, because John Peters went on the outside, kind of Supermaned everybody, past Ryan Libby on the last lap. He passed 3 cars on the last lap, Paul. He may have won this event championship. I'm not sure. They're still doing the math. But all the way back to the last lap, when they took the white flag, he kind of Supermaned about 3 cars to take away a couple of positions at the end.
You see it there. It looks like he got himself a little bit out of shape, but he held on to it, pointed the car in the right direction. Oh, that was actually after they crossed the line there. We'll back that up one more lap because we can do that here in iRacing World, and you can kind of get a little bit of a spoiler there. And there you see it's going to be the last lap. We're going to follow in that number 51 car. Passes the 3, as he made mention. Passes the 15. Looks like he's going to get around him just fine. He's going to pass the 46. And, man, just really holding on to that high line, doing a fantastic job. Everybody else down low. You got to wonder, he did stop for tires a couple of times there. So great call there for John Peters, number 51. May very well have won his event with that pit strategy call.
Yeah, he was able. The 46 had a little bit of loss of momentum in turn number 2, but he had the line down the back straightaway and was still able to take it if he could. But at the end of the day, Devin Marhefka going to win feature number 2, and John Peters is celebrating like he won this thing, and I believe he did because everybody else in the top 6 ahead of him, you see it there, finished 7th or worse, Paul, in that first feature. Marhefka was 22nd, Lewandowski was 17th, Uhouse was 19th, Zane Ferrell was 7th, Hopkins and Casagrande 18th and 15th respectively. So I think this is John Peters' event, but we'll double check with the officials as you see the rest of the running order from feature number 2.
Yep, you can see the crowd is excited, getting some flash bulbs, getting some pictures of the winner of the second event, and the winner looks like overall winner is going to be John Peters, but we will get that confirmed. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. I need a cold beverage real quick, and I'll definitely encourage you to grab one too. So we will be right back. We're going to pay some bills and grab a couple of drinks, and we'll be back here with the top 3 here at the NEPS All-Star Race.
Hey! I'm CTWE Wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, thanks to our friends at Rent a Race Car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
What's one of the biggest challenges of managing a fleet of trucks, tractor trailers, and material handling equipment? Hassling with maintenance, repair, and vehicle breakdown. Trans Service's dedicated contract maintenance service, DCM, takes that hassle away. We maintain your fleet, no matter what the configuration, to the highest standards, while giving you the greatest cost control. We offer preventative maintenance executed to maximum utilization, equipment life, and necessary repairs, all tracked by a state-of-the-art paperless computerized system. Assistance with equipment engineering, configuration, including new engine technology, and onboard computers for your fleet, as well as dedicated fleet contract maintenance. Dedicated on-site service facilities staffed with management and certified maintenance technicians, inventories of parts, tires, and fluids, and all necessary shop equipment, diagnostic tools, and technology. Supporting services such as equipment inspections and assistance with meeting regulatory requirements, DOT, OSHA, EPA. Contact us today to learn about our turnkey contract maintenance solutions. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
Welcome back to the Vidane TV coverage of the NEP SHiFT Marketing and Design Grand National Series All-Star Race presented by NEPS. Our winner of the overall event is John Peters. And John, I have to ask you about the strategy to come down pit road. Usually in a 40-lap race, there's not a whole lot of time to move back up to the front when you start dead last. Let's talk about it, because obviously it got you to victory lane at the end.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. We got that caution. I think it was around lap 30-ish, and I got a little damage to the left front, so I knew that I was going to be slowed up. Car was probably going to tighten up, and I was looking behind me and knew I had 6 or 7 cars behind me. So I thought, it's tough to pass here. I might as well come in, fix my damage, and throw tires on, and just try to give myself a shot to come back up through. And I'm just about as surprised as you are that I was able to make that back up. It all happened in the last lap and a half, where I got clear lane on the outside and got Ryan at the line there. So I'm glad it worked out. I figured I had nothing to lose, and it looks like it did.
Yeah, that pass at the end, 3 cars coming to the white flag, including a guy you battled in race number 1 in Ryan Pasoko. Let's go back to that first race. Talk about battling with that 3 car to ultimately take away the win, which is going to help you take away this overall event championship.
Ryan was doing a really good job blocking the momentum coming off the corner with his arc down to the bottom. And it was slowing me up enough to where I couldn't really turn under him down the straightaway and going into the corner. So I just had to try to time it. He saw me so wide at the time. Try to turn under him, and then finally got some clear opening that I could use those new tires and get around. But man, what a nerve-wracking last couple laps. Once I saw the 46 was only 2 or 3 cars up, my heart started beating out of my chest. I figured I had to get it done right there. So it worked.
You pick up, I believe it's a $30 iRacing credit for this win. You also pick up a cool trophy. How cool is it to add this trophy to your hardware?
It's awesome. As soon as I saw that we were going to have some prizes for this, I was even more motivated. And Cory likes to give me crap that, he thinks I'm scared of half-mile or bigger racetracks. So shout out to Cory on this one. Really cool. And I'm glad to see that we've gotten some support for the series to be able to do stuff like this and put together a cool trophy, and then I'll take those iRacing credits all day long. We'll put those to good use.
Well, this is a new piece of content for iRacing, so isn't everybody pretty much on the same level playing field? Where did Cory finish tonight?
Good question. Looks like Cory was 6th in the second race and in the 15th in the first, so yeah. But you're right about that. I hadn't even raced the fairgrounds before tonight. I did a couple of test laps the other night and thought I was in the ballpark, so I just kind of went with it. But it's a fun track. You carry a lot of speed. You have to have a lot of throttle control in these cars. So a fun place. We should take the actual series here when we get the chance.
Who do you got in this race car? Who'd you like to thank for the night?
Yeah, thanks to my parents watching. Shout out to my dad. Thanks to my girlfriend and dog for letting me do it. Thanks to Run to North America. I finally got to float our actual paint scheme that we run in real life tonight, so I was happy about that. Digby's Friday, Libby Septic Service, Turn 4 Automotive, Amsoil. Thanks to all those people. Thanks to Vidane for supporting this. NEP Bets for sponsoring the show tonight. SHiFT as always, and we're excited to get to Loudon here in a week or so.
Well, that's John Peters. Congratulations on the All-Star win. And Paul, will move over to Ryan Libby. Have you caught up with him down there?
Yeah, we've caught up with Ryan Libby. He's going to finish 2nd overall. Let's throw some numbers. We like doing the numbers game here. We don't like doing the math, but we like looking at the math after the fact. Ryan Libby qualified on the pole, but we inverted 7 in the first race, so he started 7th. He didn't start first. He started 7th. Came back to finish 2nd in the very first feature of the night, but then we inverted the entire field. Started 23rd in the second race, worked his way back up to 8th. A solid top 10 race. Top 10 finish there in the second feature here. Ryan, how did you do it? Walk us through the night, man.
Yeah, had a pretty good qualifying run, and the invert was kind of a shot in the dark. We didn't really know. And then when I saw I was starting 7th, I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. And, once Peters got out front, I thought he was kind of going to run away with it. And then I was like, wow, I can actually catch up to him. And then we had that final green, white, checkered. And, Peters is always fast. He's always smooth. I give him a lot of credit. And, I think if I had a few more laps, I could have put a little more pressure on him in the heat race in the first feature. But in that second feature, yeah, it was tough starting 23rd. I was actually thinking about hanging back, but then I realized I kind of had to race Peters for the win. So I let him get out front, let him kind of make the holes for me here and there. And then I saw that he pitted, and, I was pretty happy about that. I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm just going to go straight to the front. And next thing the laps are winding down, the cautions are happening, and then we get this, 3 to go. I look up my mirror, I see his blue car on the outside. I went, oh my God, this is Peters again. So I had to get going, and then on the front stretch on the last lap, he just got me by a fender. So, but that's racing, congrats to him.
Yeah, very entertaining night. First double feature we've had with the NEPS guys. You guys always put on a show, and man, you did not disappoint tonight. It was fun watching you throughout the race here. Fantastic showing, a couple of solid top tens, a second place finish there, like we said in the first race, 8th in the second, and still not quite enough to get up there with John Peters, like you said, but man, John Peters seems like he's fast wherever he goes. But who makes it done? We saw Jimmy Dean on the hood of the race car there, the number 46 tonight. Who makes it happen for the 46 team?
I'd like to thank the Jimmy Dean, and I'd like to thank Kyle Casagrande for sponsoring the event, NEP SHiFT, and of course you guys at Vidane TV. You guys do an awesome job broadcasting, so thank you very much for all that.
Oh, it's our pleasure, especially with you guys. You guys put on a fantastic show. Always thrilled to watch you guys race and call some of the action. Great run here tonight, Ryan. We'll let you get cooled off. We're going to send it down to Tim, who's caught up with P3. I believe it's going to be Zane Ferrell. Usually drives that pretty pink race car.
Yeah, you might have to pull him up here, Paul, with Zane Ferrell going to finish in position number 3 after finishing position number 4 in the second race, 7th in the first. Zane, talk about your night, because you had to come through the middle of the pack there, especially in that second race, to get back up there to position number 4.
Yeah, started 19th in the second race. It was really, really hard getting through. I usually like at that track, like to run the bottom for a little bit, and then once the tires started playing a factor, I kind of try to move up a lane, half a lane to a lane up. Getting through was pretty rough. I got into the back a couple guys, and I feel terrible, but I had to go.
Yeah, a little bit of a crinkle on the front of this car, but no harm, no foul. Coming back to position number 4. What's your take on this format here this evening? First time we've seen a double feature with the NEPS guys. Did you like the format the way it was? Did you like the invert? What's your take on it all tonight?
Oh, it was good. We talked about it throughout the weeks leading up to this. I think it was an overall success for us tonight. I mean, I hope we can try to maybe plan something like this again in the future. And I'm, like I said, I'm a real big fan of it. The points were a cool thing. It was neat seeing different guys up in the front, different guys, some of the fast guys in the back trying to navigate themselves through traffic.
And obviously the change to the super late model, but we talked about it with John, a new racetrack to this iRacing platform in Nashville Fairgrounds. How many laps did you have here before we even got here? And would you like to see it on the upcoming schedule here in the future for the Grand National Series?
I had about probably, I'd say, a handful of 100 laps here before we tonight, and the time I took to try it out and everything, I felt comfortable. But when we got it with everybody else, I really wasn't liking it. I wasn't having fun, I was having fun, but it was just rough. Be everybody out there at once, I knew it was going to be a rough race, and you couldn't really go balls to the walls first couple laps. But the track is also very, very bumpy.
It was a great effort here this evening. Passed a lot of race cars. Who's on this race car? Who'd you like to thank for the effort tonight?
I got to thank my buddy Brandon Newhouse for designing some pretty good-looking cars on the track. I think we won the paint scheme contest for best in show. So I got to thank him. Zane Ferrell Racing's on the side, Newhouse Racing Designs. And I got SHiFT Marketing on the side.
Well, there you go. That's Zane Ferrell, 3rd overall here tonight. Paul, great show put on by these NEPS guys. The All-Star race is now in the books. We'll come back, I believe. You have the upcoming schedule in front of you, Paul. I believe John mentioned Loudon coming up next week, so that's going to be an exciting race. Back with those Grand National cars and on a bigger racetrack, on that 1 mile racetrack. Can't wait to see those guys go at it again with the Grand National car. And we've got a whole host of upcoming events coming up here on Vidane. We got super speedways, we got short tracks. If there's something that's up your alley on iRacing, I think we've got it here, don't we?
Yeah, definitely the variety bucket of racing here on Vidane TV over the next couple of weeks. You're taking a look at the upcoming events on your screen right now, and you can check out the full schedule, vidane.net/events. But tomorrow night, we're actually back with the Sim 500 group running the Michigan 150 at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And then Sunday, we're taking Friday, Saturday off. Sunday, we're back. East Coast Winter League. The modified boys are back. We're running a little bit earlier than we did last season. Going to be starting off the season there. Cool little deal there. 8 o'clock is going to be the start of the Pro Series, but 6 o'clock is going to be part of the East Coast Winter League Light Series. So running the SK Tour Mod cars, fixed setup league, and this guy's going to be piloting the number 94 car in that Light Series. So we'll see if we can crank us out a top 35 finish there in that Light Series before going live here on Vidane TV for the Pro Series at 8 o'clock. But then next Tuesday night, you called them out earlier, the RBR Maritime Group Championship night here on the 10th, next Tuesday, and a very special race here with the NEPS boys next Thursday night. It's going to be the Ted Christopher, Michael Stefanik Memorial Race, so that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely going to see if we can maybe go live a little bit earlier for that race and see if we can't change up some stories, because man, if there's one thing I learned about racing, it's there's stories upon stories. So it's really cool to kind of reminisce just a little bit, especially with these memorial races. But then next Sunday, check that, next Saturday is a very special day for me because Vidane Racing returns back to the track for the biggest and baddest collaboration in sim racing history. Sim 500 partnering up with Vidane Racing to give you the Sim 500 Vidane Racing Super Speedway Series starting Saturday night, 10:30. Racing late so you can go out, have a couple of drinks, have yourself some dinner Saturday night, hang out with your friends, but not too late because COVID apparently, well, we won't get into that. But you can come back here, get some practice in, and run the Super Speedway Series here Saturday nights. The winner of the championship, they get that beautiful custom championship belt, red strap this time around, which is pretty cool. And Rent a Race Car returns as the title sponsor. They're giving away a free rental, a free street stock rental at Stafford Motor Speedway to the champion as well. So you get to show up at Stafford Motor Speedway, you get to hang out with yours truly, you get to drive a race car, you get a cool championship belt if you win the championship there. $20 gets you in for the whole season, and the top 3 finishers in each and every single one of those races pays out, and we do still have some race sponsorships available for that. And man, after that, we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Tim's Corner Motorsports, you know something about this, Tim, the Super Late Model 300, running qualifying events all weekend long, or all week long, every single night. You're going to be able to see it here live on Vidane TV. You want to touch on that just a little bit, Tim, before we get going?
Yeah, it gives those guys an opportunity that last year when we did that deal with Tim's Corner, I think we had 70, 80 drivers trying to qualify each night. So we've got 92, I believe, signed up. We're going to announce a provisional package for some of those leagues that run here on Vidane TV for an opportunity for them to get some of their drivers in the spotlight. So the NEPS, the East Coast Winter League, and a Sim 500 have an opportunity to maybe qualify for a provisional for that one. At the end of the day, though, 300 laps on Friday, November 20th, Southern National, Super Late Model, fixed setup. I think the winner's going to pocket a little bit of change for that one as well. We're still working on that, but expect some announcements tomorrow on that. And then we got some Tim's Corner stuff coming up in December and January on Wednesday night. So it's going to be an exciting, jam-packed off-season for Vidane and Tim's Corner Motorsports. We're kicking it off with a bang from that 16th to 20th week, capped off with the Super Late Model 300 at Southern National.
For sure, and you can get all the information, vidane.net/events. You've got all the stuff there on the website. Be sure to check us out on social media as well. Vidane TV on Facebook, Vidane TV on YouTube, Vidane Racing TV on Twitch. And as I made mention before, the NEPS guys got me back on Twitter, at Vidane TV on Twitter. So be sure and like and follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let your friends know you were entertained by some internet racing here with the iRacing simulation here at Vidane TV. But that's going to do it here for tonight. As always, I am Showtime Paul Strickland Jr., the legendary Tim Terry joining me in the commentary booth here tonight. We're done here. We're going to knock a few back. Next time we catch you, we'll catch you at the track. Catch you on the flip side. Have a great night. Thanks for watching Vidane TV. Clear.